Hey everybody, Chris here. Is the Trump family investing in Dogecoin? We're going to talk about that in this video. Please be sure to subscribe to my channel, hit that little notification bell too. You can be notified when new videos come out, as well as when I do live streams. All eyes this week seem to be on Jerome Powell and the Fed again. Powell's going to give a speech on Friday, and everyone's all like, oh, what's the Fed going to do? Is he going to hint at interest rate cuts again or be more bearish? As the summer of chop continues with crypto prices, but there's some interesting news coming out, so let's get into it. Let me show you the charts on the news, show you what I'm looking at. We start here looking at the current Dogecoin chart. We're at 22 cents again, reclaimed 22 cents after late last night. There was a bit of a sell-off, again taking out a lot of liquidation as well. Dogecoin down to 21.5 cents and now moving back up to 22. And here's Bitcoin at 115.5 after dropping down to 114.5 on the dip last night. And ETH as well, big sell-off. Again, taking out liquidations. Can't stress that enough. Again, over and over, the summer of chop continues. ETH moving back up. So that's kind of the state overall. Why is crypto down today? Well, if Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell signals a continued hawkish stance, we could see a rapid correction in digital assets, particularly for Bitcoin and ETH. And so this just continues. It just continues. We need to get done with the summer, get out of this whole Fed Jerome Powell thing. The FOMC doesn't meet for another month. And yet here we are locked in with what's this going to do? What's he going to say? And the markets don't like uncertainty. That's it. The markets just don't like uncertainty. And of course, here's the liquidation page where we're looking at ETH, $126 million in Ethereum liquidation. So this is big trading going on, mainly with ETH on the futures. And our overall liquidation, $300 million in liquidations. So the exchanges and the market makers don't want you to win again. And they continue to take that out. We can look at the bigger picture, right? Bitcoin ready for a huge bull run. If you're a believer in the 4-year cycles, and here we go again, right? Here we go again. We're ready. I'm ready. Are you? And yet we're just going to suffer around here and chop around right before a big run. Again, not guaranteed, not financial advice, but I am still following the 4-year cycles. And we have this next signal to come on this next big run for Bitcoin. And the final Bitcoin wave of the pattern, right? This would be it. We have this big diagonal pattern that we've had for 2 years. And this could be the end of the cycle. Now, there are some who believe in extended cycles and super cycles and all of that, but I'm still a believer in this, and we may get north of 155, but this is now Merlin's new target that we would reach later this fall. And then we could see the pullback and then into a bear market in 2026. This would be the expectation. Of course, markets don't always follow what's expected. So when we get to euphoria, again, when we get to euphoria, instead of taking snapshots of your portfolio, you may want to start trimming some positions. And we will talk about that later this fall. Make sure you're subscribed, you got your notifications on, because this isn't going to be just Bitcoin, but ETH, all the alts, Dogecoin too. That is going to happen. So be careful out there, my friends. Be careful. And here's ETH. Look at it. Huge, huge shorting of ETH is going on. These are all open futures positions, all shorts. So if the ETH price starts moving back up and starts taking out these shorts, we could have a big short squeeze on ETH as ETH moves up towards its previous all-time high. That would be huge. We'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes. And on Dogecoin, Trader Tardigrade, Trader Allen is looking at the 4-year cycles as well. And there is a setup of sort of a higher highs on a double peak, and then the big move. Higher highs on a double peak, and then the big move. And here we've had 2 higher highs on a double peak. Are we waiting for that next big move for Dogecoin? Interesting, interesting. So here's the news I want to talk about. Thumbs up. And I was like, thumbs up. I've heard of those guys before. Thumbs up to acquire Doge Hash, an all-stock deal for Dogecoin mining. So this is big news. This is this Thumbs Up Media Corporation, and they're acquiring Doge Hash Technologies, 30 million shares, with plans to rename the combined entity Doge Hash Technologies Holding Inc., change its ticker to XDOG, like that, XDOG. And that's going to close this fall. And this is a publicly traded company focused on Dogecoin mining operations. So right now the company is a little weak. And of course we know how Dogecoin mining goes, right? Dogecoin's price is depressed. Miners are having a hard time, like, being profitable. So, but Thumbs Up is buying this company. And this is a big move into Dogecoin. Doge Hash currently operates about 2,500 script ASIC miners in North America. And that's the key part right there, right, is North America. And what did Trump say, right? American, right? He wants crypto to be mined in America. He wants American companies. And he was mostly talking about Bitcoin. But this is a move for Dogecoin and Dogecoin mining, which is kind of interesting. And I'm like, okay, Thumbs Up. Who is Thumbs Up? So I asked Grok, right? Who owns Thumbs Up Media? Well, it's a publicly traded company. There are some big insiders. Robert Steele, chairman, owns 33% of the company. Danny Lupinelli, a top key executive, holds 15% of the shares. And then there's, so the institutional ownership, pretty small. And then there's retail, owns 47% of the shares for retail. But who's a notable investor, huh? Donald Trump Jr. is reported to own 350,000 shares valued at approximately $4 million. His brother Eric Trump also serves as an advisor to Dominari Securities, the parent firm of the placement agent for Thumbs Up's recent offerings, indicating some level of involvement from the Trump family. So the Trumps are involved with Thumbs Up. Thumbs Up is getting into Dogecoin mining. So there's the connection. Again, this is all about crypto being mined in America. Donald and Eric aren't going to be left behind. So very interesting news here. It's all about the mining. That's where the money is going to be made. Bitcoin mining, Dogecoin mining. I think Dogecoin over a long period of time is going to be more profitable. The latest news from the SEC on the ETFs is a pause, a delay, whatever, right? XRP and Dogecoin funds, right? Again, this is just another one of those pre-deadlines before the 240 days are up. So that leads us, of course, back to this chart, which says Dogecoin's final SEC deadline, which is the only one that really matters based on what happened with Bitcoin and ETH, is again October 17th for Dogecoin, October 17th for XRP. So XRP and Dogecoin are kind of linked here by this right here. Grayscale, Bitwise, 21 shares for Dogecoin. XRP has Grayscale, Bitwise, 21 shares. Canary, Wisdom Tree, CoinChoice, CoinShares, Franklin, a few others for XRP. That's a week after Solana's final deadline, which is a week after Litecoin's final deadline. So this is what we are waiting for. Again, September 17th, FOMC, October 2nd, 10th, and 17th for these crypto ETFs, and then followed by Cardano a week later on October 23rd. So this is all coming this fall. Again, this is building and building and building. For Dogecoin, we've talked about many other things like Doge OS, right? The House of Doge, BitOrigin, and is Elon and X, are they going to, is at least X payments going to launch, right? X money, if that launches, even though Doge isn't going to be on it at first, and people are going to complain, oh, there's no Doge. Well, we already know that's what's going to happen. But just the thought that Dogecoin might one day be part of X payments will get Doge to pump as well. Because that's how Dogecoin trades, right? We watch for that with Dogecoin. So that's all coming as well. One last thing, there's this little cute article about ChatGPT, right? ChatGPT 5, it sets the date when Dogecoin will hit $1. Of course, this is just an AI saying this. Who knows what's going to happen? We don't know. But somebody made an article on it. And it was just, look, at the current price, Dogecoin around 22 cents would need a 355% rally to hit $1. Such gains are not unprecedented. We saw that back in 2020-21 cycle, right? However, inflation, tighter liquidity conditions, competition from other tokens, Pepe, WIF, Pengu, Pump, like all of those, right? Many, many more in the meme, field now. That's going to be tough for Doge. We get that, right? Even in a strong crypto rally fueled by ongoing Bitcoin halving cycle, again, the 4-year cycles, ChatGPT sees Dogecoin's best case scenario through 2025 is a climb toward 35 cents and 50 cents. Dogecoin's realistic window may be the next 4-year cycle into 2028, maybe 2029 even. So we just have to be ready for this, guys. That's all I'm saying. Some of you, again, just like I was back in 2021, get your head fixated on this. I'm not selling till Doge goes to $1, but if you are investing and you want to take some profits, maybe Doge to $1 is unlikely before 2026. Most realistic shot will be the next cycle. And there's a risk of never even hitting $1. Again, this is all going to depend on utility, all of these things building for Doge. But I mean, we start seeing these things, right? This is all building for Doge. Not only on the mining side, but then we're going to have the whole Doge OS, utility, games, NFTs, platforms for making new meme coins, like all on Doge. That's all coming for Dogecoin. So we will be watching that. Make sure that you're subscribed, you got your notifications on. Come join the next live stream. We always expand our discussions there, talk about a lot more. Like to know what you guys think as well. Leave a comment below. What do you think about the Trump family? Are they getting into Doge? Why not, right? Doge is American, we say, right? It's an American crypto. We don't even want to pay capital gains taxes on our Doge profits. We'll see if the American government gets around to that, because I'd like that to happen. We'll see about that. Give the video a like. Again, if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I appreciate the support. We'll see you next time.